Most recently, the way I was, deeply wounded was I was in a very serious, long-term relationship, and that ending was really tough. Still, when someone's been there for so long in your life, there's a hole, there's a void that you wind up trying to fill. I would go out with friends, act like I didn't care. We would party every night, drinking lots. And it was fun. It felt good while it was happening. But anytime I wasn't out with them, anytime I wasn't partying, like I said, there's still a void. And it's like when you're doing things like that, it only numbs what you're actually feeling. So when you come down from a hard night of drinking, it's like the next day you just feel worse. You feel even less whole than you did before. It was about 1 month into it, and she moved her stuff out, and I had moved my stuff back into that room. And I just kind of had a realization. I was like, what am I doing? Why, this isn't fixing anything. But that night we still went out and went crazy. And but that night it was kind of funny. I kind of broke down to my best friend and Andy, our bassist. And I just pretty much spilled it all out. I was like, dude, this sucks. I'm hurting, and I don't know what to do. And they were super helpful to me, and it made me wish that I would have said something earlier instead of just acting like, oh, I don't care. My best friends, they knew that, I was just bottling it up, and I think they were just waiting for that moment to happen, because if they would have tried to get it out of me, I probably wouldn't have said anything. I think I was just in denial myself that I actually was hurting from it. I think I was like, no, whatever, I don't need it. Because part of me was like that. I was like, this is for the best to move on. But there's still a sadness there. I won't say that it all went away right away. At that point I was like, okay, I have to find something else to fill this that isn't so bad for me, that isn't so destructive. And that one of the big things that I really got into when everything ended was I got really into fitness. It's something I'd always been into. And another thing I started doing is our band was diving into writing this last record, and I was really using this record as an outlet for everything I was feeling. I was writing a lot, and it was funny, pretty much all the lyrics I wrote at that time, none of them made it. It was all my later lyrics that made it. But still, just writing things down, getting creative, and expressing how I was feeling just on paper with words and to music, that really helped a lot too. Even just the writing and the fitness and everything else, down the line, I started to learn how to live by myself. I had never been single in my entire adult life, so I had to really figure it out. And it took a long time, several months, before I really learned how to do things on my own, how to live on my own, how to not have that person to always call. I knew things were going to get better with time. No matter how I was feeling, I was just like, I have to get used to this. I have to get through this. And I would try to keep myself really busy. I would read a lot, which is something I never used to do. I never used to read. Reading helped my writing as well. So I was reading a ton. I started trying to learn a foreign language. That kept me busy. Just everything I was doing, I was trying to better myself and keep myself busy. Because when I was doing something, I wasn't thinking about everything that had happened in the months prior. I mean, it seems like everyone's different, but what I did is I just convinced myself that it will get better with time, and not to let myself fill that void with something else, like another relationship or anything else. And in my mind, I just would tell myself, don't go back to that. Don't give in. Just because you're hurting, just don't go back. It doesn't work, obviously. And I would just really force myself to not do it. I would wake up with the thought of, let's keep moving on, let's keep moving forward. It's gonna get better. I mean, the biggest thing is I know that I can be independent, that I don't need a relationship to move me, to motivate me, to keep me whole. I really don't. I have one right now, and I love it, and I'm happier than I've ever been, but I think it's because I've had that experience that I moved on from that, and that I learned so much about myself. But there's a difference between having a happy relationship that you don't want to end and something that you feel like you need. It was interesting when everything ended, because I really learned actually a lot about myself, and beyond that, what I actually wanted in a relationship and what I wanted in a partner, as opposed to just being with someone for so long and growing with that person, and you kind of accept things that you really shouldn't accept. I'm not saying for anybody that's in a relationship that's not an adult or is a young adult to just go and break it off and be single. But I'm really thankful for the time in my adult life that I've spent single, because during that time I was like, man, I really didn't like that. And I guess I didn't need to put up with that. Instead, I would have rather had this. And I cherish the time I was single, because I've learned so much about what I wanted from a partner and what, a lot about me too.